Sophia leaned her head against the bark, breathing in the grassy pine perfume of the wounded conifer. Her sore heart was throbbing like a thumb hit by a hammer. She wanted to go home. A tear ran down her cheek, but she wiped it away. She had promised her mum she wouldn't cry anymore. A trail of determined ants marched up the trunk of the injured tree and detoured to examine the freshly bled sap. "Hello," Sophie brought her face close. "You're busy, aren't you?" Rummaging around in her bug bag, she pulled out a portable magnifying glass and slipped it out of its worn leather case. She crouched down and examined the army of ants. "Maybe now we've moved," she thought, "Mum will let me build an ant farm." With her head against the tree trunk, she could see the fence at the back of the garden, and there, tucked behind the empty shed, was a tall, thin gate. Oh! She ducked under the low branch and wriggled through to the gap behind the shed. The gate was hidden from the rest of the garden. She drew back the bolt, but the door was swollen stuck. A couple of good shoves popped it open, and Sophia stepped out onto a footpath that ran along the back of the houses. It was wide enough to ride a bike down. On the opposite side of the footpath was a hedgerow, thick with nettles and brambles, and beyond it, a field of wheat. "Blackberries!" Sophia stepped forwards and picked one, popping it into her mouth, savouring the sour sweetness as it burst on her tongue. She walked along the hedgerow, picking and eating berries, until she noticed 3 caterpillars on nettle leaves close to the ground. She squatted down and peered at them through her magnifying glass. The caterpillars were nearly 3 centimetres long, dark, with pale-tipped spines and a lemon pattern of marks along their bodies. "Vanessa Atalanta," she whispered to herself, opening her bag and pulling out a clear plastic pot with tiny air holes in the lid. Grasping the nettle leaf firmly with thumb and forefinger, she plucked the leaf hosting one of the caterpillars and slid it into her pot. Hearing a rustle, Sophia looked to her right. There was a girl, way up the path. She was standing feet apart, staring at Sophia, her eyes enlarged by thick glasses. She was wearing fluffy monster feet slippers and a faded yellow adult-sized t-shirt, as a dress with a belt, pulling it in at the waist. In one hand, she clutched a pad of paper, and in the other, a pencil case. Her long blonde hair looked like it hadn't been brushed in months. Sophia lifted her hand and waved, but the girl turned and ran away. "What are you doing?" Sophia jumped, not expecting to hear a voice so close behind her. She spun around. Peering over the fence, a shrub of red curly hair sat atop 2 bright blue eyes and a freckle-smattered nose. "I'm bug hunting," Sophia replied, holding up her plastic pot. "This is the red admiral caterpillar, and it's in its 5th instar, which means it's going to pupate soon and turn into a butterfly." Bug hunting? With a scuffle and a thump, the red-haired girl was over the fence and crouching down beside her. "What are you hunting them for? Do you kill them?" "No," Sophia said. "That would be cruel." "When people hunt animals, they normally do kill them," the red-haired girl replied, staring down at the caterpillar in the pot. "They shoot them and chop off their heads, stuff them and hang them on a wall." She giggled. "Imagine hanging a dead caterpillar head on a wall." Sophia frowned. She didn't like that idea. "I live at number 13, the girl pointed at the house beyond the fence. "You're the new girl at number 7, aren't you?" She looked proud, as if she'd solved a mystery. "I saw you arrive." "My name is Sophia." "Hi, Sophia, I'm Cassidy." She pointed at the spiny caterpillar in the pot. "If you don't kill the bugs, what do you do with them?" "Well, this one I was going to take back to my terrarium and watch it weave leaves together with silk to make a cocoon. Then hopefully it will become a pupa and I'll see it transform into a butterfly." Sophia smiled, but Cassidy's expression was confused. "Other bugs I pick up and I let them walk on me whilst I look at them with my magnifying glass." She slid the lens out for Cassidy to see. You can see every detail, their compound eyes and hairy bodies. And then what? Well, I let them go. Sophia carefully put a lid on the pot containing the caterpillar and lowered it into her bug bag. Do you do it with all bugs? Cassidy's face twisted. Even spiders? Oh, yes, Sophia replied. I love spiders. They're so beautiful. Oh, you let spiders crawl on you? Cassidy stared at Sophia aghast. That's weird. No, it isn't. It's natural. Well, if it's natural, then how come I have never met anyone else who does it? Sophia shrugged. A male voice called, Cassidy, dinner time. Cassidy, where are you? Oh, that's my dad. Cassidy got up. I've got to go. Will you be going to Brackenheath School on Monday? Sophia nodded. Oh, me too. See you there. Cassidy clambered over the fence and vanished.